PM Friday, 95 degrees. I ain't got no. Hey, how are you? We are back from another episode of Manny Monday. In case you're not hip to the fact, Manny Monday's opportunity for me to talk to my family and friends and inform them of moments of epiphany and things that are going on during the week, right? If you want to know what I talk about as far as like the topics, the lists are on my Instagram. I upload a new list every Friday, but I also upload clips about the videos that I do, right? But in order to get the Money Mondays, they'll be right here on YouTube. So like, subscribe, and please comment. I always tell people to comment. Like, why are the comments empty? Comment, right? But without further ado, I'm gonna talk about my week. First order of business is broken oven / writer block. My stove broke, man. Like, I just got groceries and I was so excited about it, right? So I had two trays. I had a tray full of biscuits and a tray full of bacon, right? And you put them both in the oven at 355 degrees, bacon at the bottom, the biscuits on top, right? And so what I do, I cook both of them, then I slice the biscuits, and then I make like an eggs biscuit type sandwich with the bacon and everything. But yeah, the oven isn't working, and I'm so used to it working and shit, and just for it to not work that day, it was just like fucking mind-boggling, right? But you know me, I take a simple parable and I apply it to my life. So I'm thinking like, okay, what's not really working for me in my life at the moment? What's like I'm so used to it, like the pattern of like it being there, right? So me currently, I'm going through a bit of a writer's block as far as it comes with little material and ideas, you know. Like, I still have come up with ideas because like the video is actually coming out right now, right? But it's like, is the ideas good enough? Is it doing this and doing that? And I had to like really take a step back because I'm getting away from the mission and what like my whole intent was, right? So if I apply this to my stove, it's like, yeah, I would like to use the stove, of course, but it's like, no, I don't necessarily need the stove. What I really doing this is for is to give myself some nutrients. I'm doing it for the sole purpose of cooking. So I got that fucking crock pot and I made some cream of chicken, right? And so with this video today, or just like videos, or I'm just realizing now, it's like, hey, it may not be like the most trendiest topic, it may not be this, it may not be that, but still stay genuine to yourself, and the video will be as ever long as it's gonna be, or it'll be as short as it will be. But I think it's just the perfect space to acknowledge that I'm like, I feel like I'm reading a creativity block, right? But just be yourself, right? And let everything else flow as it may, right? Second order of business, black chains and curses. So I don't know if you noticed, just something new, something slight, just something like, I bought a new chain. This is like the first chain that I really bought, right? Because usually I bought jewelry and the gothic aesthetic in the past, gothic jewelry and rings and stuff like this. But this is the first time I bought a chain from K Jewels, right? This is not plugging them, just say it. This is where I got the chain from. And because in the past, every time I got a chain or something, it was attached to somebody. Like, oh, somebody bought me this chain, or I went to this event and they got this chain. But it was never something that I got for the sole purpose of it being me, it being something that I can put my energy and my essence into, as far as like a chain or some of the symbolism and something that's like iconic and that I identify with, right? Because I do believe, and I don't think I ever talked about this in a video before, my close friends, they do notice that when you have a piece of jewelry or something that a person gives you, their spirit is tied to it, right? And it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Like if it's like a family member that gave me a piece or something like that, I fucks with my family, so it's good. It's good. I appreciate stuff like that. But let's say, like, for example, I used to have this necklace. It was a wing. My ex gave it to me, and even after the relationship, I was like, oh, let me just keep this around, you know. And it's like I felt like I couldn't progress in life because I'm still holding on to it. I was holding on to this piece of jewelry, and then it often came to a point of like, you know what? I let go of her, you know, like literally let go of her because we broke up. And then I also let go of the possessions and stuff that she left behind. But it's like that chain was still there. So it's like she still had a hold on me in a way. I know. Just stay with me. Just promise, stay with me. And so I had to finally get rid of that chain. Things got better, right? And since then, I never had something like consistent, like piece, whether it was a ring or anything of that nature. And so I decided, like, okay, let me get something that signifies me, right? Something that's unique to me. And I ended up getting this chain, right? But like me throwing that chain that she gave me was like, I want to say like 2 years ago, I threw that chain away, you know? But yeah, I appreciate this piece that I have now. And I hope that it becomes iconic. Like when you think of Manny, you think of the chain, right? And to be honest, I don't know if you guys know this, you don't have to spend like thousands of dollars on chains and jewelry and shit. Like I think that was like the misconception, right? Full transparency, this chain was, I got it on sale. It was like $50. Like I think it's like originally marking up this type of chain, it would be like 80, but just like something 50, something simple, something that just like makes me feel good, right? But continuing on. Third is planning despite cancellation, right? Let's say you have something that you want to do generally want to do, but for the sake of conversation, let me keep it simple. You want to go to a movie, you plan to go to the movies with your friends, right? We're all going to see this movie. We're going to see Star Wars, for example, right? Friends started counseling on you. They said like, oh, I can't go. Oh, I can't do this. Da 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 da. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Are you confident enough to still go to that movie? Are you still going, right? And that's something I have to like really commend myself on, is like, if I'm set on doing something despite what everyone else is doing, I'm going to stick to the mission, because this is like, I'm doing this for me. So if I wanted to see that Star Wars movie, it's like, hey, I wanted to see it, right? It would have been nice if you would have tagged along and been part of the process, but I have to do this for me at the end of the day. So it's like planning in anticipation of cancellation. So like when you have events or things that you want to do, and like shit happens with people in life and stuff like that, we can't get so hold up on the idea of a person that we can't continue on with our lives, or that we can't have deadlines in place that it says like, hey, I value my time, right? Because your time is very important and you don't get that back. We're here for you probably heard this shit for 1,000 times over. We're here for a finite amount of time, and it makes even more the sense that we utilize it to the best of our advantage, right? And that people don't take that for granted, right? If a person can't make it to a certain event, I usually let them know ahead of time. It's like, hey, so let's say if I have something Tuesday, I need to know at what time are we meeting by Tuesday by such and such a date, right? So if the event's Tuesday, I need to know by Sunday if you can actually make it. Are we going through with this, right? Because if not, I can reallocate that time somewhere else, right? And that may not necessarily mean me going outside. When I say like, hey, I need to know by then, and you don't let me know that then, I may be at the crib. I'm not gonna lie. But it's me utilizing the time in the way that I see fit, right? And it's in anticipation of that counseling, but it's also being true to the mission of like, hey, I'm gonna do something regardless, independent of other individuals, right? That's all I have for today. Jules closes at, I think, 10. So I'm gonna go get some ice cream. Hopefully I make it in time. You have a great day. Have a great time. Jaritos are on me.